Continuing with the developmental theory of learning by Jean Piaget. Pre-operational stage. This is the second stage in Jean Piaget's developmental theory of learning. These are the features pertaining to this stage. Symbolic functioning. The child starts to represent one thing with the help of another thing. Example, it might use any kind of rectangular object as mobile and pretend speaking over it. They start to understand the connection between language, actions, and objects. Egocentrism. It refers to the ability to think only from one's own angle and inability to think from others' point of view. Jean Piaget showed this through an activity using the 3D model of mountain. You can imagine the picture of 6 and 9 in which both fail to consider the opposite person's viewpoint. They fail to see that others' viewpoint might be different and think that the other person might also be right from wherever they are standing. No conservation. The child's decision at this stage depends more on appearance than on logic. This is explained through the simple experiment wherein there had been kept two glasses, first one being the short and broad, and the second one long and thin. Which one has more water? The child responded, second glass, the one which is long and thin, because it looks taller. Piaget says this happens due to three reasons: centration, irreversibility, and egocentrism. We know egocentrism is thinking only in one's own angle and not being able to think in terms of others' perspective. What is centration? Centration is the inability to focus on all the aspects of the problem or object. Like in the example of glass of water, the child only focused on the appearance of the glass, second being the taller, and concluded it has more water. But it could not focus on the aspect that glass 1 is broad and it can hold that much water too. Another reason for no conservation, irreversibility. Children cannot mentally reverse the action and think about the previous state of the object. If they see a house that is disorganized and things are fallen here and there on the floor, they won't be able to imagine the state in which everything is organized and things remained in their respective places. These are the main features of the pre-operational stage. Concrete operations comprising the age group 7 to 11 years. You can consider this stage as the stage opposite to the pre-operational stage. Children at this stage will be able to mentally reverse the course of actions, that is, reversibility develops. Decentration. They start looking at the multiple aspects of the same matter. Example, if a blank plus blank is equal to 10, the blanks could be occupied by 1 and 9, or 3 and 7, or 5 and 5, etc. They become less egocentric. That is, they are able to think from others' point of view at this stage. A unique feature of this stage being that they depend on concrete objects. It is difficult at this stage for them to imagine or mentally represent things. You can't just say there are 3 apples and 1 mango and ask totally how many fruits are there. Showing them real fruits or models of it creates more impact than verbal words. Hence, their understanding depends on concrete objects. They have to see the real or the model in order to understand. Formal operations. This is the final stage wherein you can notice the ability to think hypothetically. They are able to gauge the possibilities that might emerge in future. They think outside the box, or you can also say they develop their own unique and creative way of thinking in order to solve issues. They can think about abstract concepts. They don't need any concrete objects to understand. They will be able to create mental images of objects and situations in order to understand concepts and various aspects of the problems. They start thinking at a 360 angle. They develop considering all the aspects in order to arrive at the solutions. They think in a consistent way. They show the capability of scientific thinking.